Welcome to our fourth class. Today we're going to be talking more about Facebook because there's a lot we didn't cover last week. And then we'll get into Instagram as well. But I think actually this is pretty interesting stuff that hopefully will be useful to you. So let's get cracking because there's a lot to cover here. So today's agenda, we're going to do, like I said, Facebook's other tools. So we're going to cover Facebook groups, Facebook events, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Memories, Facebook News, and Facebook Fundraisers. And you are going to learn how to interact, how to find these things, and how to create your own, which is cool as well. And then we will talk about Instagram, and I will give you a quick peek into Instagram, get you started on that, and depending on interest, we might have time next week to do a little bit more on Instagram. But so first off, we're going to start with this slide. I talked about this yesterday, or sorry, not yesterday, it feels like yesterday, last week. But, you know, Facebook isn't just a social media site. It is really an incredibly powerful network. I think 2 billion people have a Facebook account. So it's like, you know, a third of the world. And, you know, because of that, I really think that Facebook can be used for a lot of great things, buying and selling items, reading the news. You can find community, you can find events, like you can go from Facebook to real life and find real life things to do, and all sorts of other things, raise money. You can actually do video calls like Zoom. So that's exciting. And I'll show you really quickly where you can find, just give you a really quick peek here. When I go to my Facebook account, when you pull up your Facebook, on the sidebar, on the side menu on your computer, you're going to see your account, and then you're going to see a bunch of different buttons that you can click. And this is going to be sort of our home base here. And you can see there's actually an insane amount of stuff. I'm not going to go over all of this. But I mean, Facebook just has so many, offers so many different tools here. But the most important ones you can see are mostly up here. And then we'll get to some down here as well. But so you get to that just by going to your home page. And then in the left menu, you'll see that there's going to be this sort of sidebar. And that is going to be where you're going to find these things. Now, up here, you can see that you can have quick access to some of them as well. So there's sort of more than one way. And we'll get to that. But you can see there's a few icons up here. And you can also get to some of these tools by clicking some of these icons. So we can get specific now and start talking about one tool, which is Facebook Groups. So Facebook Groups is actually really cool. It's kind of like, you know, groups that connect people with a common experience or connection, and it creates basically a Facebook feed, but in miniature. It's not like all your friends. It's just a group of people that share something in common with you. So, for example, I unfortunately had COVID-19 a few months ago, and I lost my sense of smell and taste. And so I was sort of looking for solutions and other people's experiences on this issue of not being able to smell or taste. So I found a group on Facebook called COVID-19 Smell and Taste Loss, and that group has 40,000 people in it that also had COVID-19 and that also lost their smell and taste, and they're all sharing their experiences and what works for them and what their doctors are saying. So that's just one way. I'm also part of a group for my family. So that's a group where my relatives will post photos of, you know, old pictures of people in our family. Just members of the family that can see those photos. So it's just a miniature feed that has to do with one specific topic.
Sophie, did you get your taste back?
It depends on the day, about 80% right now. So
wow.
100. Yeah.
Are there, just curious, are there tastes that you can taste better than others?
Sugar comes back right away. Sugar adds something evolutionary, I think. You know, you get sugar and salt, but yeah, the sort of umami flavors are the last ones, the more subtle flavors. But so anyway, so I'll show you though, if you're interested in joining a group like that, or maybe you have, you know, something you're interested in that you want to follow. I'll show you how to join one, how to participate, how to leave a group if you're no longer interested, and then finally how to create your own group, which is cool. So you can create something, a community of your own. So I'll show you how to do that. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can see that there's a sidebar here that I showed you, and I'll just go to the Facebook app. You could just click groups. That's one way of doing it. Or you could actually see, just go above this top menu here, and there's this picture, it has 3 little people. You put your mouse over it, it'll say groups, and you can click that. And that'll also take you to the same place. So you can see that here are the groups that I'm in. These are just different groups that I happen to be interested in. But that's my feed. So you can see when you go to your feed, these are all the posts from groups that I'm in. What you can do if you're looking to join groups is you can do one of two things. You can click discover, and when you click discover, that's going to be like, remember when we were looking at people you might be interested in with the friends button last week? That's similar. Basically, Facebook's going to show us groups that a lot of our friends are in. So like I happen to have, this is funny. I mean, I don't know, like my school. So there's a group called Yale Places I've Cried, which I assume is just a funny meme group, but whatever. A lot of my friends are in that. So they're suggesting that I join it, or the Yale Student Technology School, whatever it might be. And you can also find groups based on categories, and they'll suggest some categories to you. So that's one cool way of finding groups, but probably you're going to want to find a group more specifically, like something you're specifically interested in. So let's say you wanted to find a group for Montclair. Oh, I was trying this out here. So let's say you're from Ghana, or maybe you just are interested in Ghana, and you want to find a group that will post good recipes for Ghanaian food. This is like a really niche thing that I just thought of this morning. I was like, what if I wanted that? And sure enough, here's a group with 41,000 members about Ghanaian food. Here's a smaller group, but about Ghanaian food recipes in particular. So really they have pretty much, I mean, anything you can imagine, these groups exist on Facebook. So I'll just show you again how I did that. I just went to the search bar and I just searched whatever I want. If I want to search a Montclair page, and I recommend you join your local page. I live in a small town now in upstate New York, or was before, and I've learned more about my community and more about what's going on in my community from joining my Facebook group of that community than I have in all the years that I lived there. I mean, I was just so much more tuned in to really what people's experiences were. And you can see there's Montclair community, there's secret Montclair. These sometimes they have sort of dramatic names, but these are for Montclair parents. So these are all just groups that have to do with Montclair, New Jersey in particular. It's very easy to find them. So I want to just explain a little bit about what Facebook groups are. So I explained sort of all the situations in which you might want to join a group. I wanted to note that a lot of Facebook groups are closed, and this might be confusing at first, but you're going to get to the group and you're going to have to answer some questions before you're allowed to join the group. Now, sometimes those questions are just going to be things like, do you accept the rules of this page? And the rules will be, I promise to be a civil, normal person and not post things that don't have to do with this group. Sometimes if it's a more private group, you'll have to answer specific questions that the moderator, the person who created the page, will review. So for example, when I wanted to do my COVID-19 smell and taste loss group, I had to answer a few questions to show that I actually, had some real interest in the subject matter, and I wouldn't be there for no reason. So I'll show you, that depends what that will look like, will depend on whether the page is private or public and how exclusive the page is. But like, let's say I want to join Secret Montclair. So look, I can't see anything, right? It's secret, right? So it's a private group. Now it's a private group with 14,000 people in it, but it's a private group. So if I want to see what's in Secret Montclair, I have to ask to join the group. Now, in this case, I've asked to join the group. And now look, it's asking me these questions, and I have to basically go through and answer these questions in order to receive approval to join the group. I have to say what my connection is to Montclair. Am I going to follow this rule? How did I hear about them? And I just agree to the rules, which are right here. No politics, no hate speech, be kind. Okay, I can agree to that. Once I fill out my questions, I'll submit. And usually within, depending on how active the moderator is, within a day or two, you'll be approved, assuming you answer questions appropriately, and they'll let you into the group. So that's just a little bit of an extra step. Don't be freaked out if you can't see any posts right away. Make sure you're asking to enter the group, and then just give it a while, and then come back and check, and you'll probably be let in. So that's one thing. All right, now I'm going to get to something a little bit more interesting. So I want to talk about, I think that is interesting, but I want to talk about actually creating your own group. Although I guess I have here posting first. I just wanted to clarify really quickly that when you post in a Facebook group, you can access your group through the groups tab, just like I showed you. So you're going to go to your groups tab up here, and you're going to go to your groups tab up here, and you're going to see your feed, and then you're going to see groups you've joined, and you'll see it here. Once you're approved, it'll be in here. Once you get to there, like let's say I wanted to go and say like, sorry, I excited this. I wanted to say something. It's going to look just like your regular Facebook feed, right? It's going to say what's on your mind, and you're going to, like, just like we went over how to post last week and what sorts of things you can post, it's exactly the same. I can put a feeling, I can put a photo, I can put a status update. The only difference is that it's not going to actually show up right away. Just like how when you click join the group, you have to actually be approved. Your posts have to be approved as well. So I can put whatever I want, you know, and then whatever. And then I can say post, and then it will have to be approved by the person who's running the group first. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Now about creating a Facebook group. So I think that there's a lot of situations that you might want, in which you might want to create a Facebook group. Actually, I noticed there is no Facebook group for Montclair, New Jersey senior citizens, or Montclair, New Jersey older adults, or whatever you like. So that's something we can create today. And actually, I thought we could do that together because there isn't a group like that yet. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really easy. Just go to your groups page. Remember, you go up here, there's that 3-person sign. Press create new group. And then you'll just get some options. So what do we want to call it? Any suggestions? Montclair, NJ, senior citizens. Any better suggestions? You can just type up if you want. If not, I'll go with that.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Now we can make it public or private. And that's just like our posts, where if we make it public, anyone can see it and anyone can see what people are posting. If it's private, only members can see who's in the group. I think it should be private. Let's make it private so that it can just be a sort of intimate community of older people in Montclair. Okay, so if it's visible, that means that people can find the group and request to be a part of it. If you really like have a really secretive group, you want it to be hidden, and then no one can find it unless you send it to someone. But it doesn't need to be that secretive. Okay, then you can invite friends. So I would invite a friend that I have here. You know, I can invite anyone that I want, and then I can, after I've invited some friends, I'll press create.
So the friend, that's going to be the friend's email address, or?
That's a great question. I'll show you that one more time. So it's not going to be the friend's, it's not going to be the friend's email address. To invite more friends, I'll just go like this. 1 second, I'll show you. See that plus invite? It's up there. Montclair and J Senior Citizens, invite. It's not going to be their email. It's going to be their Facebook. So you can only invite people that have a Facebook. So this is my mom. I'll invite her to this group. She might not be happy that I'm inviting her, but I'm going to invite her to this group. And now she's going to get basically a request to join the group. And that just means that, you know, she has the opportunity to join, and she doesn't have to be approved by me because I've already invited her. So you, and in other words, no, it's not emails, it's their Facebook. And you just have to type their name in. If they have a Facebook, click on it, and you're good to go.
Oh, okay.
So now we've actually created the group. It was that easy. It's already finished. But we can make it a little prettier if we want. This is actually kind of nice, but we can change this. So we can say edit. We can say choose from illustrations. This is the easiest part. So Facebook provides some illustrations that we can use. So let's see. Well, I guess this is the best one because none of them are particularly relevant. So this is auto-generated by Facebook, but you can also put a picture if you have a picture that you want to put. I don't have anything right now. Anyways, so now you can see if you're going to create a group, you're going to be the administrator of that group. You're going to be the moderator. And here are all your admin tools. So what that means is that you're going to be able to see everyone that's requested to be a part of the group, and you're going to be able to approve them or deny them. If you have questions that you ask of them, you'll be able to see their answers prior to deciding whether you want them to join. You can see there's ways to filter your member requests. You can also add membership questions. So if you want to make a group, like for example, for this Montclair group, my question would be, what is your relationship to Montclair? Are you a senior citizen? You know, why do you want to join this page? Something like that, just to make sure that people who are really actually interested in engaging want to join. Because the thing is, your goal is to build a community, right? So if you can get people who are willing to go through 3 questions to join, you're more likely to have a more engaging and lively Facebook page, Facebook group. And then you can also make group rules. So I would probably put here no politics. I've never seen a Facebook group that went well when there are politics in it. And I'm a very political person, but Facebook groups don't work with politics. So I would say no politics, and I would say, be kind, just sort of similar rules. I mean, and that way, once you make rules, if someone violates the rules, you have the right to take them off the page. That's it. So it's pretty easy, and you can create posts. So I would make my first post and just say, hi, everyone, and then I would just post that. And now that's our first post. And anyone who joins can post more. So you can do that for anything. You can do that for your family. So your family you can invite members of your family, and then they'll be free to post pictures of the family or whatever it might be. And that way it's all in one place. So it's pretty convenient to have it all just there in that one group. And you don't have to search through all of the different Facebook profiles to find different photos of your family, because everyone posts in this one group, and that's cool. So that's a great idea if you're interested in doing that, to create a Facebook group. Are there any questions?
Yes. Question is, if you invited me, do I have to go onto Facebook to find out that you invited me, or will I get some kind of notification?
That's a great question. So it depends on your notification settings.
Okay.
Do you regularly get notifications from Facebook in your email?
Yeah, when someone has posted something on Facebook. I mean, I don't go on Facebook much, but where I get notifications via email that someone posted something.
Okay, yeah. So if you get notifications via email, I think you would get a notification for this. If you don't normally get notifications, then you'd have to go on Facebook to check it out. It's really simple though. You just go, it's like appears right in your notifications. You'd see this person invited you to join this group, and you'd be able to respond to it. So it's just the way that you would see if someone commented on a post or anything like that. It's in that same spot, in that notifications, that little bell up there. So that's really simple, how you create a Facebook group, how you moderate a Facebook group. And, sometimes Facebook groups get really big, so it could be a full-time job. You might have to bring on new moderators, but definitely it's a great way to build a community. Okay, I'm going to show you another thing now. This is Facebook events. And one second, I'm just going to stop my share for just a second, make sure there's nothing in the chat. Okay, looks good. All right. So Facebook events is another great way to use Facebook to build community in real life. So I'm going to show you how to access that. Again, it's really simple. You're going to go to your Facebook page, and just on that bar, you see your friends, and right below that is events. So events, you're going to be home. These are the events that are recommended to me for whatever reason. I don't really know why, but right now events are kind of weird because most of them are online just because of the pandemic. Most of the time, you'll see a lot of things in person as well. But these are pretty much random events. This is my Discover page. You can see it says at the top, Discover events. So these events are just events that Facebook's recommending. None of them seem particularly interesting for me, but I know that I'm really into arts. So what do? If I live in Montclair and I really like arts, and I'd like to find other people in the community that like arts and find other events relating to that. Well, you can see I could do one of two things. I can search an event. I can search like art. That's going to show me all the art events, like basically, in America. Now I need to filter it. So I'm going to change my location to Montclair. Okay. And now I can even put here art so that it's tagged with art. These are categories. You'll see that you can also choose categories at the very start and just look through, discover events through categories. But this is the closest, best way to do it. You just search it in here. And now look, here are all the events in Montclair that are happening or that have happened recently that have to do with arts. So here you can see I'm getting some events that already happened. Like this was March 25th. So that's not really helpful for me. I would suggest that you make it so that it's only events that are in the future. So I would say, for example, in the next month. Let's click that. Okay, unfortunately, there's no events in the next month. Let's see if we can find other things in Montclair in the events next month. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to just, oops. My Facebook is just loading here. So I'm in Montclair, and I want to find any event in the next month. There's nothing happening with the arts next month, probably because of the pandemic. Usually I'm sure there would be. So instead we'll search something else. We can search, I don't know. We're going to go back to Facebook for just a second. I'm going to go back to the original events page. And I'm going to look at search events. I'm going to just search Montclair, New Jersey. And now I'll see all the events that are happening in Montclair, New Jersey. So if you're not, now if I want to be picky, I can sort of separate it out, right, into different categories. Doesn't look like there's too many events, so maybe it won't be that helpful to sift it out into categories. But, you know, I can see, like, if there's a religious event that I want to go to, I might be able to sort it like that and all that sort of thing. So here are all the religious events. Anyways, that's just how it's done. Now you can see all these events. So you can see that, for example, the UCM, the church in Montclair is having a virtual Sunday service. You can see, you know, these are from the past. So you want to just remember to click dates in the next month. And now I'm only going to get stuff that's in the future. Anyways, so those are all the ways that you can sort through your events. I hope that was clear. I'll just go over that one more time. So you're going to go to Facebook. Right in this left bar, you're going to go to events. You're going to be able to search events. You can either search the place of an event or you can search the topic and then sort by place. Either one works right now. And in the next few months, as we get back to normal life, I might cast a wider net just because there might not be as many events happening. Now, another cool thing, I always forget birthdays. I get in a lot of trouble for it. I have a terrible memory. So to prevent that from happening, to make sure that I never make someone feel like I've forgotten about them, I like to check my birthday tabs. That shows up in events. It's the third event tab right here. And that'll tell me everyone that I know that's about to have a birthday. So here are 2 people that I know that are having a birthday today. So that's cool. And then I can see everyone that's about to have a birthday and look through that and make sure I know everyone who's about to have a birthday. So that's kind of cool too. And you'll know, you can, even if you like to write out cards to people, if you like to write birthday cards, which I think is a nice thing to do, you can look through and figure out, you know, how many cards to pick up on your next trip to CVS or whatever. I mean, you know, it's just a good way to see everything at once. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, I'm going to show you really quickly how to create your own event. So let's say you want to create a birthday party or even a dinner party. I don't know, we're getting back to, you know, life after COVID. You might want to celebrate. You might want to have a party. So I encourage you to create a Facebook group if it's a big enough party, or even if it's just a couple people, but you're doing a potluck or something that requires coordination. That's a great way to use a Facebook group. So you get to choose, you click create event. I'll go back really quickly. You're going to go to your groups. You'll be able to click here. There's this blue thing, create event. You can say whether it's online or in person. You're going to say general, unless it's a tournament. I assume it won't be. I pretty much no situation except the tournament, but you would click that. And then you get to put your name, the date of the event, the start time. You can also put an end time if you're interested in doing that. And you can say who can see it. So you can say only people who are invited can see it, anyone can see it, all of your friends can see it, a whole group can see it. Now, if you're doing a dinner party, I would recommend that you only have people who are invited who can see it. If, on the other hand, you have a block party, I would say you make it public. That way, anyone can see it who's on your block, and they'll be able to look and determine if they want to go. So obviously, it's just occasional, you know, based on the occasion. Once you create the event, you'll be given a few other options. So I'll just do this very quickly. So I'll be able to put the location, and then I can put a description, and then I'll be able to put a little cover photo, and then I'll be able to create the event. So I'll just do this. This is a private event anyway, so it's going to give me options. Choose an illustration. So I'm having a dinner party. So I just went to click those little pictures at the bottom, that little ... menu. And here's the choices for dinner party. Wow, these are really creepy, but this one I like. Okay. So dinner party. All right. And now I'm going to create the event. So that was all I did. Facebook is going to prompt me to enter all the information. Then I'm going to create the event. Just give me a second here. then I click invite. And then you're going to do the same thing you did with the groups. Anyone you'd like to invite. So I'll invite my mom again. And she can let me know if she'd like to come. So this is a way for people to RSVP because they can say that they're going or that they're not going. But more than that, they don't just get to RSVP, they get to post. So you can see I can add a post. Anyone can add a post here. And that's a way for someone to say, I'm bringing the potato salad, whatever. You can make announcements to your party. So that's another great way to use events. Okay, that's it for events. Any questions before I move on to the next topic?
Yes, I just have a question about the previous topic, if you don't mind. The
No,
group.
please. I'm sorry.
How do you remove yourself from a group? Like you might think you're going to want to belong to this group, and then you get in it and you decide, I don't need all this stuff. How do I get out of here so I don't have to deal with them anymore? Where's the delete?
Yeah, believe me, I've had that problem. Yeah, that's a good thing to do, is to delete a group. So I'm going to show you a few ways to do that. Thanks for asking that, Jeff. Let me go to my groups. You can actually just click this here. So I'll just find a group that I'm not really interested in being in anymore. Okay, this is a program that I never did. I'm not going to be in this, so I will ask to leave this this group, or I might ask to leave. Let's see. I'll ask to leave this group because this is a group that I really am not in. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to this ... and I'm going to say unfollow group, or I'm going to say leave group. Remember what we talked about with unfollowing people? If you don't want to offend someone, like your neighbor who's really annoying, but you don't want her to know you think she's annoying, you would unfollow her and she will never know that you left the group, but you'll never see her post again. That's one way of doing it. If you actually don't care about whether they know you leave the group, just press leave the group. So remember, ... leave the group. And I'm sure I want to leave the group. That's it. That's all you have to do. You can either unfollow or leave the group. Another thing you can do, well, my computer's being slow there, but that's okay. Another thing you can do is if one of the posts comes up, you can choose to unfollow the group for like 30 days. So I'll just show you something really quickly. Oh, I'm no longer in the group, but let me see. I'll go to another thing here. Sorry. Just want to show you this really quickly. So here I'm in this group. So what I can do is I can actually manage notifications, follow group. Is that it? No, that's not it. I will come back to that. I have to remember how to do that. But the major things are unfollowing and deleting. That's just the 3 dots. Sorry that I couldn't give you more full answer there.
Sophie, I have a question. The other day, I accidentally pressed something that said hide post, not my post. My friend posted something, and instead of going, I don't know, I just accidentally clicked hide post, and I Googled it, and I just tried to find out how to unhide that post, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's a good question. So let's just see if I can show you that. So, right, when you get to a post, hide post, see fewer posts like this. So just want to say something really quickly. When you also, this is what I was looking for before. Look, if I don't want to see this person, but not just for a little bit, like maybe I'm just sick of them for now, but I think I want to hear from them in the future, I can click snooze for 30 days. That will stop me from seeing their posts for the next month, and then I'll see their posts again. Okay, just one thing. Hide posts, see fewer posts like this. If you click that, then it's going to change the algorithm. It's going to make you see fewer posts. If you made a mistake, I think what you have to do is, let's see, I've never actually done that. I can check in settings.
You know, very often when you go on, you Google that, and it comes up with do this, do this, do this. And it doesn't have on Facebook what Google is telling you to do. So I read all the Google information, the things, and trying to unhide it, and I still couldn't get it to happen.
Well, what I would do is if you can go to your friend's Facebook page. So
yeah.
like, let's see if I can, and if I can't help you with this now, I can try to help you with it later. Let me just go to someone's Facebook page. So if I want to say, I have to go to someone in my feed, sorry. Apologies, improvising here a bit. All right, so I don't really want to see this post. So
That may be different because it's an ad.
yeah, it is an ad. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay. I don't want to see this post. So here, I'll say hide post. Okay, so now it went away. All right, now if I can remember where that was, which that was Delhi. News around Delhi. That was my I have to go back to that group. And I think what I need to do is I need to, let's see. Gosh, you know what? I don't want to spend more time on this now because I actually.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
I'll look
I don't
that
know, I
up.
couldn't figure it out, but go ahead. It's not
Well,
critical. It's just I
Feel
couldn't
better that
figure it
I
out.
couldn't figure it out either. I've never done that before. What Joyce did, hide post, it would prevent those posts from coming. It would deprioritize them in your timeline. So what I'll do is I'll figure that out for you, and then I can show you next class. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It was just so you know, when you figure it out, it was not, I didn't hide every post. I just clicked on hide that one post.
Right.
Someone was sick in the hospital and I wanted to get it back and I couldn't get it back.
Okay. All right. I will look into how to do that. Yeah, I apologize. I'm not totally sure how to do that right now, but I'll look into that. Okay. All right. Really quickly. So I want to keep going here. So Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is pretty much just like Craigslist. I'm sure most of you have used Craigslist or at least heard of Craigslist. But there's 3 reasons I recommend you use Facebook Marketplace instead of Craigslist. One, you can easily browse on your phone and your computer on Facebook Marketplace. 2, it's just safer. You can see who people are, you can look at their profiles, and you do not need to give away your number or email because it's all through Facebook Messenger. Which is the messaging service. I'll show you right there. See, that's sort of you get these messages. It's like that little speech bubble with the sort of lightning bolt there. You can see your messages, so people can message you. That's safer, and it's easier to sell things. Like I said, everyone uses Facebook. Not everyone uses Craigslist. So here's how you do it. Just the same way we started out with everything. You can go either to your main Facebook page and go down to Marketplace. Or you can go up here, you see the little market icon. Either one will take you here. And now you can see that these are all pictures of things that people are giving away. So I don't know, people happen to be giving a lot of baby stuff away in my area. So if I had a baby and I was looking for that sort of thing, this would be useful. But maybe I can browse through these, maybe none of these are useful. Maybe I'm looking for a grill. Well, then I just search grill. Oops, let me spell that right. Okay, here are all the grills that are being sold. You can see where I am. Thinks I'm in Cobleskill, New York. I can change that to Montclair or to wherever I am. And I want to say how far I want to drive. So I change my location. I only am willing to drive 20 miles. Apply that filter. Give it a moment. And it will find all of the grills that people are selling in the area. Now I can sort it further by price. I can sort it by the item's condition, whether I want a new item, gently used item. If I'm more generally looking for, like, let's say I just bought a new house and I'm more generally looking for home goods or whatever it might be, I would just click that category and I'm going to be able to see all the posts at once. You can see it's a much more accessible format than Craigslist, a little bit easier to use. You can also find all the free stuff in one place. So if you're someone that likes to turn things around, maybe you like to sell things or you like to fix things up, it's a great place to find stuff. Now, you'll find weird stuff. I have no idea what that is, but you'll also find some good stuff. You know, here's a drum set and piano. I mean, I don't know. There's interesting things that people are giving away for free. So that's pretty easy. You just go to the market and then you just search whatever you want to buy. It'll give you the option to filter. Once you filter, the location and the distance, you'll be able to see everything that's relevant. Let's say you want to create something. Let's say you want to sell your desk. Create a new listing. You're going to choose what you have for sale. You can put either an item, a vehicle, a home, for sale or rent, or actually you can post a job opening. But let's say you want to post an item. You'd go to item there, and you'd have the chance to just add a photo of the item, give a title, a price. You want to put categories so that people can find it when they're looking through things, describe it, and that's pretty much it. Now, an interesting feature is that if you're selling something that you'd rather not have your friends know about, you can say hide from friends. And I think that's a good thing, because I don't think that selling is necessarily always a social thing, and you might not want your friends to know exactly what you're trying to get rid of, because of course that could reflect other things in your life that maybe you're not ready to talk about. So if you want, you can always just click hide from friends, and then no one that is friends with you would be able to see your item. Alternatively, you could post your item on your Facebook page if you want your friends to buy it. So you would just go through that process. Are there any questions about that? I know I went through that pretty quick. It's not super difficult. Yep.
If you see something you want, how do you get in touch with a person to tell them you want to buy it?
That's a great question, Marion. Let's go through that. So let me go 1 second. So, okay, here I would love this free kids playhouse. So what I'm going to do is I can send the woman who's sending it, Dana, I can send her a message. So I can say, hi, Dana, is it still available? That's the automated message, and I can press send, or I can write my own specific message. And then I'll send it to her. From then on, it's just a conversation. So this is something interesting to know about Marketplace. I'm glad you asked. This is not a payment mechanism. You're not going to pay on Facebook Marketplace. This is a place to list an item, and then you'll be able to talk to the person by messaging them. And you'll be able to have a conversation on this here Facebook Messenger, okay? But that's not going to be where you exchange money. It's still going to be like Craigslist. You're either going to bring cash, or you'll do it through a money app. In this case, it's free, so you don't need to, there's nothing involved. But in general, all it's going to have you do is just message the seller.
So you just go to the arrow, and then this comes up and says send seller a message?
Exactly. So like, look, anything here. Now I'm going to say I want, I don't know, miscellaneous metal. So I want this, I just press send. I just click it, and I'm immediately on the bottom given the option to send her a message. And it actually really nicely pre-writes a message for me. I don't even have to send a message, like make up a message. I can just make sure it's still available, and then I can say, great, I'll be there. When are you available for me to pick it up? And that's just like Craigslist. So in that way, it's very similar. But it definitely is easier to find things. Any other questions? Okay. All right. We'll also have time at the end, but I just want to get through these Facebook skills really quickly. So another thing is Facebook memories. This is really quick, but something you might appreciate. I don't know if I have any memories today, but a Facebook memory is just basically, it's going to show you pictures that you posted or were tagged in on that day in all the previous years that you've been on Facebook. So it can be kind of nice. It can be nice to check to remember like where you were and what were you doing exactly a year or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I don't know if you were really ahead of the curve if you had Facebook 10 years ago, but maybe you did, and maybe you'll be able to see what you posted. One thing I'll add is that, if you're not super active on Facebook, Facebook memories might not have something for you every day. They might have something for you just ever so often. It sort of depends on how often you were posting in the past. You'll get those memories, but I'll show you how to access them. If you have a memory, they're right here, just in our menu, or left side menu, right under Marketplace. It's this little clock. Memories. I have no memories today, but tomorrow I might have some memories, and I'll be able to see where I was and what I was doing however long ago on this day. So that's kind of cool. I encourage you to check that every so often. Sometimes it'll make you smile, just to see and remember. And it'll also give you the option to post. Okay, 2 more quick things. Well, this is just another small thing. Facebook news. So I don't know if you guys knew that Facebook actually has a news aggregation function. That means that Facebook isn't putting together its own news, but it's not publishing any of its own news, but it is aggregating all the news stories that are on Facebook into one place. So you can see here, look, I was on my menu. I had to click more. I'll show you here again. So you see more. It's not going to come up immediately. You have to click see more, and then you'll have all these options. You scroll down. There'll be an option for news. It's like a little paper. And Facebook's algorithms will recommend a news story or several news stories to me that it thinks I'm interested in. So thinks that I'm interested in these things. It's recommending it to me. That's just a basic thing. Now, the only thing that is beneficial about this is that it recommends it based off of sort of what it thinks you're interested in. So it's a little bit more tailored. And it also allows you to share news really quickly. You can press share and then share it to friends. Now, of course, I would like you to read the article prior to sharing. It's always good practice, but maybe you know what it says. I don't know. Maybe you've already read it. You can click the arrow and you'll have the option to share to friends, share to your news feed. So share now friends, that's a direct message. That's going to send a message to someone on Facebook Messenger. If you want to post it, like so that everyone can see it, you're going to click share to newsfeed. So that's the news. That's a news function on Facebook. The last thing I want to show you that's a little bit more interesting is Facebook fundraisers. So you may or may not have seen when you're on Facebook, people raising monies for different causes. And this is a cool thing that Facebook has implemented. It allows you to raise money that is sent either directly to a charity or in some cases to your own bank account if you're raising money for yourself or a loved one, not through a separate organization. And Facebook users can share your fundraiser. So depending on the settings, usually they can share your fundraiser. And that allows you to spread the word and to raise money really quickly, especially if you're keyed into communities that are engaged and wanting to help. And you can create a fundraiser goal and an end date. So if I want to raise $5,000 to buy myself a brand new, I don't know, motorbike or something, if any of you want to pitch into that very important cause, you can pitch in, and I'll have a goal, $10,000, and there'll be an end date. And I'll show you how to create one of these fundraisers. So let's say you want to raise money for your church. So here you can see, again, we're back at this menu. This is just always comes up. See more, scroll down, and there's a little gold circle with a heart in it. That's fundraisers. Okay, so here I can see fundraisers that are really popular right now. This is kind of like my discovery page. These are fundraisers that people are donating to. But I want to create my own fundraiser. So it's actually going to give me the option to start right at the top here. You can also click raise money, but you can also just go right here. And you're going to choose one of two options. It'll give you the option to raise money for a nonprofit, in which case it'll go right to the nonprofit. Or you can raise money that will be deposited into your bank account, and then you can send it to a friend or whoever you're raising money for. So in this case, I'm raising money for my motorbike. Of course, I would never raise money for my motorbike online, but nonetheless, I'm going to say hobbies. Help me buy a motorbike. Okay, so, oops. I'll say why I want to raise money. For some reason, it has to be 50 characters long. So anyways, but you just go through that. And then you say how much money I want to raise. So a good motorbike may cost, I don't know, $6,000. So I'll put that in. And then I'll say, when should my fundraiser end? That's when people will no longer be able to give money. So I can choose whatever date. And that's it. That's literally it. I just press create. Now, this is a personal fundraiser. So once I create, it's going to aggregate all the money. I'm going to have to put in my bank account information so that Facebook can then transfer that money to my account. But all the money is first raised on Facebook. I'll make this, I'm not going to post this, so, but if you post it, you'll see that it's very easy, and then they're finished. They're on Facebook. Now, it's important to know that all fundraisers are public, so you can't do a private fundraiser. Fundraisers by nature, you want as many people to see them as possible so that they can give. So you can share fundraisers and show them to your friends, and be able to raise money that way. So are there any questions about the fundraisers?
Is that Is that the same as GoFundMe?
That's a good question. So it is similar to GoFundMe, Marion, in that it's exactly a crowd fundraising site. The benefit of Facebook, and of course you can share a GoFundMe online, But the benefit of Facebook is that because people have Facebook and you're keyed into your friends, you have a big network already, it's a little bit easier to share and send money through Facebook because people are going on Facebook a lot. So they're very similar. I mean, you can post a GoFundMe to Facebook and share it. I haven't looked into sort of which one it gives you, which one takes more off. So Facebook takes 2.6% of your donations for themselves. So I don't know what GoFundMe's rate is. That would be something to look into. They're equivalent though.
Thank you.
So you have to give Facebook your bank account information?
Yes. So you will have to give them your bank account information only if you're raising money for yourself, right? Because they need to give you the money. If you're raising money for, let's say I wanted to raise money for a nonprofit, I don't know, the American Cancer Society, then I don't have to give it my information because
they'll send it directly to the Cancer Society.
Exactly. And when you give to an organization, you don't even have to fill stuff out. It's already filled out for you. You just press create. I've seen a lot of people put these up for their birthday. Like instead of giving presents, they might ask for money to a specific organization. And that works as well.
So how do they pay? Through their bank accounts? Do they have to give Facebook their bank accounts? If they want to donate just $5, they have to go through all the trouble of giving their own bank accounts to Facebook?
Well, it's not your bank account. So you'd only give your bank account if there's a deposit. If you're giving, it's like buying anything online. You have to give your card information.
Okay. Great.
Like if I want to donate to India because of the terrible coronavirus pandemic there, I would go through Facebook Pay. I would click the amount that I would like to give. I can add my credit card, and that's it. And it already has my money there, my payment information. But if it doesn't, you just add it like any sort of online buying experience.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's the only question left. I know I've been going really quickly through. I'm going to move really quickly onto Instagram, give a quick overview. We might have time to do a little bit more next week on Instagram. But before I do, is there any more questions about all the skills? I know I've covered a lot. All the skills I've showed you on Facebook today.
I have a question. How do you post a photograph as part of your Facebook feed?
How do you post a photograph as part of your Facebook feed? So if I want to post a photograph that is something I want to share with my friends, when I go to the Facebook page, you'll see the very top, there's going to be something here that says, "What's on my mind, Sophie?" Now there's two ways of doing it. I can either press here, right? Here's what's on my mind. I'll just click photo. And then at that point, if you're on your phone, it'll take you to your Photos app. If you're on your computer, it'll take you to your document finder. I'll have to find the photo that I want to post. And then I just post it. That's it. Now there's another way. You go to your profile and you're going to see the same thing at the top of your profile, photo and video. Same exact thing. It just, you can find it in two different places. Very simple to post it to your feed. Just that button right there at the very top where it says, "What's on your mind?" You should say your name. Any other questions? Is there something in the chat? Oh, I saw it. Okay, how do you attach a photo and send it to Facebook? So Marie, another thing I'll say is that, one thing, the most complicated step of attaching the photo is not actually going to be Facebook. It's going to be making sure that your photo is somewhere on your computer where you can find it. So that means you'll want to name the photo, right? When you save the photo, you'll probably you'll right click, you'll click save the photo. You want to name the photo something that you can find. And that way, when you go to your photo and video, you'll be able to find it. Now, if it's on your phone, it's much simpler. It'll just take you right to your photos and it'll be there, right? But for your computer, you'll need to be able to find the photo where it is located. Okay. Vivian said, "A picture came up on my page from 3 years ago. How do I find it?" Vivian, can you clarify? What do you mean it came up on your page from 3 years ago? Was it a memory? Or what do you mean?
It was a picture that was taken of me and a student, and they either posted it on Facebook, so it came up like a memory thing. Like 3 years ago, this came up. So I've been trying to find it to send it to somebody, and I can't find it.
Okay, so if you were tagged in it, it should be in your photos. If you weren't tagged in it, so first thing I would do is check and see if you were tagged in it. If you were, you can go to your page, right? and you can look at photos. And once you get to photos, you can see photos of you. These are all the photos you were tagged in. So if you were tagged in the photo, it should be there. If you weren't tagged, you'd have to go to your friend's page. If she posted it, then it should be in her feed, and you'd have to scroll through her feed and find it. That's what I would recommend doing, is just looking through it. But first check and see if it's in your photos when you go to photos of you, because it's a high chance that she tagged you. If she didn't tag you, you have to go through her page and look through her feed and find it there. You can also look through just her photos that she's posted. So like, for example, someone might post a lot of things, like this person posts a lot, but let's say I just want to see her photos. So here, I'm just going to click her photos. And that's going to take me just to the photos of her. I'm not going to see anything else but the photos. Now I'm seeing photos of Militia. These are all the photos she's tagged in. Or I can see all the photos that she's posted. But they're all going to be in this place, and I don't have to scroll through. I can see them all at once. So that's the best way to look through someone's photos, is to go to their profile and click the photos button next to their name.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that was helpful. Okay, we have 5 minutes. Really quickly, I just want to go over something with Instagram. So I think we're going to talk about this next class, and we can, but I just want to introduce it. So Instagram, I'm sure you guys all know, it's an online mobile, or maybe not, but either way, it's an online mobile photo sharing, video sharing, and social networking service that enables its users to take pictures and videos, to edit them, put filters on them, caption them, and to share them with their followers. And it can be accessed via phone or web. Followers, what is a follower? They're people who can see your photos. Now, this is a key difference between Instagram and Facebook. Besides the fact that Instagram is photo-based and Facebook is text-based typically, the other big key difference between the two sites is that in Facebook, when you're friends with someone, it means that they can see your posts and you can see theirs. It's a mutual connection. In Instagram, you can follow someone without them following you. So you can follow celebrities, you can follow people, you can follow politicians, people that might not necessarily want to see your photos, but you want to see theirs, and vice versa. And just like Facebook, you can engage with posts by liking and commenting. So I'm going to get to this second. I just want to go to this first here. So creating your account. We just went through all this. I mean, I can show you how to create an account on, just manually. But we just went through a whole presentation on Facebook. And depending on your economic perspective, good news or bad news, Facebook happens to own Instagram as well, because Facebook owns everything. And so you can actually, if you have a Facebook, it's exceptionally easy to create an Instagram. You just click login with Facebook. So I'll make this bigger for a second. When you download, the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to download the Instagram app from the App Store. You can also access it online. You can go to Instagram.com and you'll be able to log in from there. I'm already logged in. I have to. Can you see my screen? The Instagram?
No.
Yes?
No, we saw.
Oh, no. Okay.
Militia.
All right. I'll change it. Sorry about that. Okay, there you are. So this is the screen online. I can also, just if you download the app, you'll always have the option to log in with Facebook. If you already have a Facebook account, all you have to do is log into your Facebook, and your Instagram account will automatically be created, and it'll have the same password and username as your Facebook. So if you're interested in creating an Instagram and you have a Facebook, that's all you have to do. It's a great way of sort of just getting an extra social media account without having to put too much effort into it. Can you see the Facebook again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's how you would create the account, is you log in with Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook, or if you prefer for the two accounts not to be connected, you'll have to enter your email or your phone number. You'll be prompted to do that. You're going to have a confirmation code, just like with Facebook. So you have to confirm that it's you by putting in a text message, the code that they send you via text or email. And then you'll enter some information about you. It's pretty easy. I would say it takes at most 5 minutes to set up an Instagram account. The hardest part might be finding it in the App Store. You just search Instagram, though. It should be, it's a very popular app, so it should be there soon. Okay, I just want to go over something really interesting, which I think like a lot of people in my life have asked me, which is, what the heck is a hashtag? Hashtags have become sort of synonymous with Instagram in particular. They're not as common on Facebook, although they do exist on Facebook. But what the heck are hashtags? The answer is that hashtags are like labels. So if you were here for our email class, remember we would put like labels on emails. I put labels on all my emails relating to the travel that I'm about to do, so they were all in one place. That's what hashtags are. They're like labels that everyone who uses Instagram can see. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to sort of put all the posts that have a similar subject matter together in one place. So if I post, for example, a picture of my cooking, and my account has to be public because it has to be shown to everyone. So if I have a public account and I post a picture of my cooking and I say hashtag MasterChef, then whenever anyone looks up MasterChef, they're going to see me and my cooking. So I'm not a great cook. I wouldn't do that. I'd put mediocre chef. That would be my hashtag. But whatever you want to put, someone who's probably already hashtagged it. And what that means is just that if you're looking through Instagram, and I'll show you in a bit, but if you're going through your explore page, which is a little search button, I'll show you right here. It looks like that. Make this big. You can see the search button right here, the bottom. That's going to be your explore page. And if you want to look for something, you can click search at the top of your explore page, and you can search for hashtag, and you'll find every post that has that hashtag. So this is a great thing to do, for example, when there's a social movement that you want to show support for. So a lot of people would hashtag their posts with hashtag Black Lives Matter or hashtag Pride or hashtag anything that is sort of a slogan for a social movement that you believe in. That's kind of like the virtual version of showing up in the town square for a protest. Maybe, arguably, I don't know if it's as effective, but you're all going to be there in the same place. And whoever wants to know how much support there is for that hashtag can look through and see every post that has that hashtag and see just how many people are engaging with that subject matter. So that's basically the lowdown on hashtags. And where would you put a hashtag? You would put a hashtag in the caption of a photo. When you're ready to post a photo on Instagram, you're going to click this plus button here. See that plus in the middle? That will take you to photos. You'll be able to look through your photos, post whatever photo you'd like. It'll prompt you to put a caption. And that's where you would put a hashtag if you're interested in adding a hashtag. So that was a really, really quick, like 5-minute overview of Instagram. I know that there's probably a lot more you guys want to see. I'm going to probably take about 15 minutes at the top of the next class to just go over any other Instagram things. We are also going to be doing iPhone tips and tricks next class. So show of hands really quickly. Do most of you have iPhones?
iPhone.
No, I have an Android phone.
Okay, you have an Android?
Yes, iPhones.
Yeah.
iPhones, a lot of iPhones. Okay.
iPhone.
Okay, sounds like we do have a lot of iPhones. So next class, unfortunately I don't have an Android, so I'm not really equipped to do Android class, but I'm happy to do an iPhone class, and we'll go through just different ways of making your iPhone more accessible, easier to use, different ways of getting around on your iPhone. And that's it. So before we leave, we're about out of time. Is there any remaining questions about something I covered today that you're dying to ask?
A quick question.
Go ahead.
What's the difference between Twitter and Instagram?
That's a good question. So thank God Twitter has not been bought by Facebook. So that's one thing, is that they're owned by a different company. But the biggest difference between Twitter and Instagram is that Twitter is an app that's based off of text mainly. So Twitter, you can post pictures, but what Twitter is basically allows you to post really short text posts. So that's something like, I think it has to be less than, I'm not sure, like 250 characters.
I think it's less, maybe 160 or something.
Yeah, I don't have a Twitter, but I would believe it. It's really short. That's why if you see like a long post on Twitter, usually it's in multiple posts because you can't have text on a single Twitter post. And in general, the difference, like in terms of how we use it, is that Instagram typically is used for lifestyle. So things like what really thrives on Instagram is lifestyle pictures, pictures of you on the beach, or pictures of you with family, or whatever that might be. Twitter is a hub for politics, and it's also a hub for a lot of like sort of internet communities. So whereas almost always you're going to be friends with, you're going to be following people you know on Instagram, it's basically like a place for you to see your friends' vacations and their life and all these other things. You're not going to probably know most of the people you follow on Twitter. You might know some of them, but you won't know most of them because Twitter is not meant for friends who are trying to keep in touch. Twitter is meant to be sort of a public town square, so to speak.
Like if you want to follow Lady Gaga, you put her on you follow her on Twitter, and everything on Lady Gaga will come up in your Twitter feed.
Right, exactly. And so most people are following people like Lady Gaga and not necessarily their next door neighbor. It's just not like sort of a communal account, like communal.
Is it warm enough for shorts?
The other thing is that hashtags are really big on Twitter as well. So definitely when you see when someone says, I don't know if you've ever heard in the news, this hashtag is trending. That just means that it's that hashtag is showing up a lot. So a lot of people are posting things and labeling their posts having to do with that topic. So for a long time, I'm sure like hashtag Black Lives Matter was trending, especially during the summer, or whatever it might be in a given day. And sometimes it's weird things, sometimes it has to do with the news. But
So I want to ask you a question, but I just want you to say yes or no, because if you explain it, then we'll be here till tomorrow. If you post, let's say, a photo on Instagram, will it automatically post on Facebook and vice versa? If you post on Facebook, is there a way to make it post on Instagram? I don't, it's like, is the answer like, no, you got to post separately on both, or is there a way to sort of interconnect them?
Yes, the answer is yes. If you have, well, I know you said yes or no, but if you have the Facebook, if you sign up with an Instagram account through Facebook, it will be connected. If you don't sign up through Facebook,
if you sign through Facebook, I don't know if I signed through Facebook. I guess I could unsign and re-sign or something.
Yeah, if you create your account with Facebook, it'll connect. Yeah, sorry.
Do pictures on Instagram disappear in a certain amount of time?
Yes.
Well, no, but you can make them disappear if you post them in your story. That's a separate thing I didn't get to. I don't think it's super important, but there's ways to make photos that are there for only a little bit of time. In general, they stay on your feed until you delete them.
Great job, Sophie.